Hi everyone, it's Desiree here and Richard.
Hi everyone, this is Richard. This is my first time with Desiree talking to you live.
And we are from the Foundation for Human Kindness and Compassion. And we hope that you're making the most of this year and all the wonderful opportunities it brings. In fact, with the right guidance, I think that this year could be your best year yet. And that's actually why we're here. See, we want to help you get that guidance. We want to help you get answers to all of the big life-changing directions or questions.
And why us? Well, we have a dream and we have this big dream together, and we feel that destiny has brought us together, and we have this huge impossible dream to change the course of the world and to create peace on this planet, and to do it within the next 3 to 5 years. So we have this dream and we're dedicating it today, and we're going to teach it today because of some other interesting, important events in our lives. And one of them is that my wife Desiree here has lost her father 40 years ago. And he was ultimately killed. And why from my end of it is that half of my family was wiped out in World War II. So even before I was born, I never even knew half my family. So we feel it's very critical for us to change the course of the world and teach people how to heal by teaching them access and to create peace. And ultimately why this and how this is that we're going to teach you how to control your own energy. This is your own invisible physical energy that we've taught in all our schools, that we are made of energy. Well, this is what we're here to teach you. We're here to teach you to now progress from just being a human being to being who we really are, as half human beings and half star child. So what we're here to teach is called access, and that is to teach you to start utilizing your star child qualities.
And what does access means? That's ACCESS. It's a separate the connection and comprehension of the ethereal self and soul. So it means that you are really affirming, you're understanding, you're accepting, acknowledging that you've got the connection with the universe, and that you understand whatever the universe wants to go and tell you or leads you into. So that's what access is, a straight connection to the universe.
And ultimately to use your energy, to control your energy, to help you, to heal you, and to create peace within you.
So, I guess we can go and start teaching them access now, right?
Fantastic. I'm
So-
very, very excited, because if we can do that, when we do this as a community and as a people, that we can be like in the movie Avatar, where they show in that movie as a great demonstration of how all the trees are interconnected. And we as human beings can ultimately be that interconnected with each other. And by learning how to do access and utilizing these tools to access everything, you will then be utilizing your star children abilities, and your whole life will literally change in front of you. You'll start recognizing things that you've never ever even recognized in your life in the past, even though you've been living this life the way you've been living it. So we're thrilled and excited that we're able to teach this to you today, and for you to spread this around the world, to spread this one by one. Start teaching this, what we're teaching you today, to everybody else that you know, and show them this live tape when it becomes a tape, and start sharing this with people. And let's start creating this world as how it's intended to be now, today. Let's be that peace. Let's create that peace. Let's create peace on this planet within the next 3 to 5 years. Because with this tool and with other simple changes that we can make to create peace, it is really that simple. If once we start moving in that direction and start having that serious conversation around the world and having this peace, and now we can start teaching people how to have access so that they can start accessing the universe and have a great understanding of life.
Hi, Paul. Thank you. How are you? This technique, the Access, is really an eye-opening opportunity to learn your own level of consciousness. So let's begin, okay? So when you Access testing yourself, the first thing to do is calibrate, okay? And the second thing to do is test. When you calibrate, what you are doing here is you are getting a sense of what's a yes or affirmative and what's a no or negative. So the way you do this is you use my fingers by pressing your thumb together with your index finger and middle finger like this. Whether you're a right-handed or left-handed. And I also believe that that is why Jesus is always have it, in some of his statues where he's holding it like this. And I guess that's where Access came in. So you do that, you press your 2 fingers, this one. Now you don't have to go and press them really hard, but you want to gently touch the fleshy point, of your fingertips together like this, okay? So what you're going to do then is to spin the tip of your thumb in an infinity motion or figure of 8 while touching the tips of your index and middle fingers.
And so what you're actually getting in touch with is not your fingers, but you're getting in touch with the energy in between your fingers. And so this is your invisible physical energy, just like radio waves. Ultimately speaking, who we are as human beings, and half human being, half star child, is we have this enormous ability to be receivers of information from the universe. So what you're getting in touch with isn't your fingers per se, you're getting in touch with the invisible energy between your fingers.
Okay. So, and in addition to that, when you have a sense of what's affirmative, the circuit will stay strong. What I mean with that is your fingers will continue to spin. When some things are negative or not true, typically the fingers will not spin. It will stop or it will go off in different directions. And when the answer is yes, of course, your fingers will continue to spin. And when the answer is no, then of course it will stop. The energy will cause your fingers to stop spinning. Now this is called accessing, okay? Now the way you access is you keep on practicing on spinning your fingers. While spinning your fingers through a question and answer, you ask questions answerable by yes or no. You have to go and start with questions initially, or simple questions initially. And the first way to find out what's true is by saying a statement that's true, like, my name is Desiree. And when you see your fingers, it should be spinning, because my name is Desiree, okay? If it stays spinning, then you know it's affirmative and it's a yes. And for a negative one, for example, just ask a negative question. That is, you may or something that's not true, like my name is Richard, okay? If it's a no, that will really just not do nothing, okay? It just stops spinning, because my name Richard, see, it doesn't even go around me, okay? Because it knows it's false. So you keep practicing and asking simple questions that are answerable by yes or no, the ones that you know deep inside you that is true, okay, or false, so that it will give you the indication as to whether you are accessing properly or not. Now, this is the scale of energy level where you can confirm as to whether you are on the right path of your life, or if you have to do, what's the next priority at that moment. See, it can even be applied to simple things like maybe going out shopping, spin your fingers, ask, is it time for me to go shopping now? And that will tell you whether that is what you have to go do at that instant, whether that is a priority. Because remember what I told you before, everything really in our life is a priority, but there is always one that is the most, and that is the one that, you take account of. So, so here you would say, like, is it a priority to go shopping? So now you then access, and then once you get the sense of that yes or no, right or wrong, you are kind of guess where you are at, okay?
So in the math of this, because everything that we're teaching you is actually based on math and science, so the math part of this is that your priority, what you're looking for is your priority 3. So that's your highest level of priority 3. Priority 2 is waiting until it's a priority 3 to get to it. Priority 1 is that it's not important right now, and priority 0. So basically, if you're in balance, if you're calibrating yourself properly, and you know you're in balance and you're calibrating, then literally everything that you should be doing is a priority 3. Even if it's simply going to the bathroom, because maybe going to the bathroom, either before or after going to the bathroom, there's a priority before or after getting there.
Like going shopping.
And that may be.
So you let the energy between your fingers answer the yes or the no. And you have to use very little pressure between the fingers. And this is very important for 2 reasons, okay? 2 reasons. It's really very important. One, the energy is extremely sensitive, and you want to make sure that the energy is answering the questions, not the physical you, okay? And it is also through this invisible universal energy that your higher self, your God self, your guardian angels, archangels, anyone in the ethos or God's representative will answer your questions. It could be a parent of yours, relatives, or friends that have died who are one of your guardian angels. Your higher self or God self is the most valuable, important, and least discovered part of you. By knowing how to access or being in direct contact with your higher self or God self will totally change your outlook on life. So keep on accessing, and you want to keep on accessing all the time until it says exactly what your calling is. Your spiritual path, the recognition, self-worth, and acknowledgement of your future character, a better version of you. So once you've learned how to access, you'll catapult your consciousness and intuitive abilities into new levels of awareness.
Yes, and if you're ultimately doing this correctly, there's some results that you can expect. One of the results is that you recognize that you want to be able to do this 24/7, and ultimately one of the future results of that is, as you learn how to access, you'll be able to theoretically learn how to meditate 24/7. So actually, by doing this, you are now doing your destiny in coordination with the universe's destiny, because now you're getting in touch with your pure energy, which is then can interconnect with all the other pure energies in the world, which is all of us as human beings. By design, we are half star children, half human beings. So this is your pathway into utilizing your star child abilities to really prosper and to grow and to and these are all future lessons that we're here to teach you too, is to really learn how to access not only yourself, most importantly yourself, because when you really get in touch with your invisible energy, you can then change who you are in the physical world much faster than any other way of doing it. And because then you're getting in touch with your individual pure energy, and then secondarily you're also interconnecting with the pure universal energy. So that's why this is so important to all of us. It's important to us, Desiree and myself, that you learn how to access, because as more people around the world learn how to access, it becomes easier for everybody who's already accessing, because we're creating that energy at that higher level.
And then it will be a collective consciousness.
Yes.
It will be a higher, really, everything that we have is always for the good of us, right?
Right, and then this is connecting into the Jung collective consciousness that you've talked about in the past.
That's why maybe one day we can have peace on this earth.
And our goal is to, because we can't do it by ourselves. We need everyone out there to do this too. So by all of us doing this together, it will be our fastest, easiest way to create peace on this planet. And one of the major benefits of doing this, including with the access, is that you will learn an infinite amount of ways to be able to love yourself more than you're loving yourself today. And by you learning how to love yourself and self-love and creating that from here, from your invisible pure energy, it will be like night and day. The minute you recognize that you can know how to access, it will change your life 360 degrees.
Yeah, because it's almost like a miracle. Everything just really falls into place. So.
And then you become even more, and ultimately one of the results of this is you becoming
more positive, a positive person,
you're more comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
As you as a human being, you feel better, you're happier, even in tough situations, you know that you're coming from your core being happy, fundamentally happy, that even if there's things that in the world right now, because the world is in the mode of survival right now. We're technically, if you look at it from a financial situation, we're in a financial enslavement across the world. So this is now a way to bridge the gap, and without getting into any politics or economics right now, this is
later.
Yeah, because in order to create peace, in our opinion, there's 3 simple steps, and we'll go into that another time. But
that's for future lessons.
Yes, and maybe that will be our next lesson. Is what are the 3 simple steps that we need to create peace? Because once we learn how to access, the other 2 are easy too. And it's like life is supposed to be by design easy. Everything's based on massive
trust.
That too.
To the universe.
I was going in a different direction with that. But that's true. By accessing, which is very important in what you said, and it's changing where I'm going with this. But but that's beautiful. In a way, that's how we're designed too, is when you're accessing, you create an idea, and then from that I can create my idea from the access, and we're going into a totally different place than if we did this separately. And that's the real value is creating that relationship trust, and knowing that with access now if there's an issue between the 2 people or in a group, you can both access and each individually test what is the truth. And then ultimately speaking, if you both are accessing that you both are true, and you both still have a disagreement, verbally, that means that you guys need to work on to take it that conversation to the next level, that there's truth in what both are saying, but you haven't reached that highest truth. And by you figuring out what that is together, you will together get to that higher truth.
Yeah,
And-
higher truth is really important because that's what we kind of like live for, right?
Right, and yes, because right now we're basically learning things at the human beingness level. We haven't really taught, the world hasn't taught us, and we haven't taught, as we as human beings haven't taught the world how to be this half star child, half human being,
Spiritual.
and spiritually and utilizing this invisible energy to convert things into peace and into a higher level of existence where life is easier for everybody. That's why we think why peace is important to us is because in our dreams about this, we recognize and we see that life will be at least 10 times easier in peace for not individuals, but everybody on this planet.
But that's also in every relationship, you know,
Yes.
it's like nothing is perfect. It's like same with us. We still fight, we still argue.
And part of that too is that even though we're here leading this right now, it's not about us. It's about all of us. And ultimately speaking, as more people access and more people are moving towards the concept that yes, peace is possible today. It's not that impossible concept that we've never been able to do on this planet. We can do this now. And if we look at our own individual destinies and we realize that, we will recognize that everything in the past was set up so we can be part of creating the peace today, now, that we can start the process today so that in 3 to 5 years we can seriously create peace on this planet, and that in 3 to 5 years we can all wave the white flag and say, yes, we're at peace.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, guys, so remember, it's your 2 fingers or with your thumb, with the index and the middle finger. Do a figure of 8 in that, and you have to just go and practice it all the time, okay? You need to practice. And you might even think that once you've practiced that you might know how to access already. That's great, and that's well and good. But every one of us is not there yet, because sometimes we do get imbalanced and we may encounter any other creative blocks or difficulties along the way, okay? So if this happens, just continue to go use the fine technique, continue on accessing yourself, test yourself for the affirmative and the negative answers to it, and that will start you off.
Yes, because as you master this first level of technique, this is the building block on learning how to use the other tool aspects of access. And so this is a good fundamental place for us to stop today, because you want to be able to start recognizing what access is at this level and to start practicing it at this level so that you can start mastering this. This is something that once you connect to this and once you realize that you can connect to your own physical, invisible, real energy, just like it's a radio wave, you are ultimately connecting into the photon energy of us, each of us as individuals, and each of us as a collective consciousness. So that's what we're hooking into. That's what you're hooking into. That's why this is so valuable to you, because this allows you to be able to control your energy, not just your invisible energy, but if you master this and get really good at this, this will alter your physical universe.
Yeah. Well, perhaps that's the real message. The work is never really over, right? But would we want it to be?
No, because
I don't think so. All we can do is enjoy the process as it unfolds and find satisfaction in each moment of creative expression. So, good luck in accessing, and shall we say thank you?
Yes, we it's a privilege to be able to be live today and be able to start spreading this message and this real physical tool that that should transform every human being from just a human being into their star child human beingness. And there's nothing more that we would love to do is to bring this forth, because by bringing this forth to you, you will actually start creating more loving energy yourself. And the whole goal of this is to create a loving, peaceful world that within 3 to 5 years we could have heaven on earth. And it's as simple as learning how to access, because the other 2 steps will come easy too when you start realizing the step of access first. And that way you can start healing yourself from the inside out and feel really good for yourself first and foremost, so that you can really start contributing your love to someone else. And that's the incredibleness of who we are as half human beings and half star child, is that we're taking that human beingness that we have inside of us, that pure emotion, because tying that pure emotion with being balanced and knowing that you're accessing your intuitive self, and that you can then access literally any of the invisible physical universe once you are able to master this will transform your world. And ultimately speaking, when you recognize this will prove to you that God exists.
God exists.
Because you will test this
Amen.
with yourself that God exists. And this is literally a mathematical proof that God exists.
Well, that's it for us now. It's
Yes.
Desiree here
And Richard.
And see you guys next week. Thank you so much for today.
Yes. Thank you.
Bright blessings always. Access, cheers,
Access and
abundance,
yes.
and your peace and prosperity.
And of course, my peace and prosperity, because we believe that's why we're here, and that we're here to connect in a peaceful and prosperous way with every human being on this planet. God designed us to be created equal, and we are here to support that notion. I don't know, an infinite percent, just like God in His infinite wisdom channeled through us to create the foundation for human kindness and compassion with the infinity sign. And if you look at our logo, it's an infinity sign with 2 hearts inside. And that is about creating relationship, because the hardest relationship to create peace on is the simple husband and wife relationship. And that's why God in its infinite universe has said that it's not going to be one guy, it's not going to be one woman bringing peace forth. It's a couple, So here, Desiree and I came from 7,000 miles away when we first met, and we realized that it was important for us to look around the world to find each other, which we ultimately did. And it took us basically half our lifetimes or more to do that.
And thanks to Daddy.
Yes. Which is another story we'll share with you another time.
We'll share with you one day. So, here's again, abundance, cheers, access, cheers.
And peace and prosperity to everyone.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye for now, and see you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I cannot finish it. How do you finish it? I can't finish it.
Well, maybe they just want us a little
They just
longer.
want us there.
This is
Yes,
that-
Guardian Angel, we have to go say bye-bye now. Bye.